What is the Dodgers offseason plan? How many tough decisions do they have to make? Why this might be the time to completely reshuffle the roster. Also, Toronto, the Blue Jays, their media members, their fans, some of their players are salty about what happened in the World Series. Shohei Ohtani makes the right decision, and the Lakers off to a great start. Who gets the credit? NFL trade deadline, Chargers make a move, the Rams stand pat. All that more coming up next on the LA Sports Report.
LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go! The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, and welcome to the LA Sports Report. Everything you need to know in the world of LA sports in less than an hour. My name is Doug McKain. You might know me from Dodgers Nation, from covering the Rams. I've covered the Lakers for Bleach Report, Chat Sports, 24/7 Sports. I've been covering LA sports for over a decade. I'm loyal to the soil. Lots of Dodgers talk over here. We're simulcast on Dodgers Nation as well today because we are talking a lot of Dodger baseball. How could you not? We are still on cloud 9. We are floating. We are so happy. Life is good in La La Land right now. The Dodgers winning the World Series, back-to-back champs. Lakers off to a great start. Rams winning. It's a great time to be an LA sports fan for sure. So we're going to get into it on this show. If you're new to the channel, this is a movement. Get in now, because this is really the only LA sports show that covers every single professional team, every single college team, and we're giving you those real, honest, authentic takes, not sugarcoating anything. This is kind of the Keep It 100 LA sports show. So very excited about this. We've been working on it for months and months and months. You need a lot of interviews over here, former Dodgers, also live breakdowns. Some stuff we might not do over at Dodgers Nation, we'll do over here. I've been working on a breakdown for the World Series, Game 6, Game 7. Cannot wait to debut that on the LA Sports Report. Also doing giveaways, too. We hit 2,000 subscribers, going for 3,000. Clayton Kershaw bobblehead, Luka Doncic jersey. So definitely subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit that like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers, your Lakers, your Chargers, Clippers, UCLA, all your favorite LA teams you're going to find covered here. But let's start with your back-to-back champs, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And of course, we've hit it from every angle, from how they won to everything that's gone into this season, everything that this organization's done. But one thing we haven't touched on yet is Toronto and this whole idea that the Toronto Blue Jays were the better team than the Dodgers, that the Toronto Blue Jays outplayed the Dodgers, and that, I don't know, the Dodgers just somehow backed into winning games 6 and 7 on the road, or that the Toronto Blue Jays got screwed out of some calls, which they absolutely did not. Whether it be the Justin Dean under the wall, whether that be the play at the plate. No, the Dodgers, they 100% won fair and square, and they won because the talent across the board. Their superstars played well. Their superstars delivered. Everyone had different moments, but it was the guys on the bottom of the roster. The 25, the 26 men on the roster, whether it be Miguel Rojas, whether it be Andy Pajes, whether it be Will Klein, Justin Robleski, from top to bottom, the Dodgers were the better team than the Toronto Blue Jays, but some disagree with that. Here, give a listen to a Toronto Blue Jays media member who immediately after the game was very salty, did not want to give the Dodgers, I think, the credit they deserved for doing something that was so improbable. That's go on the road and win games 6 and 7. Here, give a listen. We got the clip, Rob.
There were a lot of wet eyes, and I don't doubt them, and I don't blame them for that. And it's going to sound like sour grapes, and I don't really give a shit, but I think the better team did not win this series. I think the Blue Jays are the better team, and I feel like they played baseball a certain way that was infectious, that grabbed the attention of the fans, and it's disheartening to see that the better team did not win. And that's not to take anything away from the Dodgers, but the Blue Jays, they did so many things correct. They did so many things right.
I was absolutely disgusted when I heard this. And I hope you guys appreciate the fact that, yeah, sometimes a little hard on our Dodgers, and sometimes the players, if we know they can be better than they are. But the truth is, you would never catch me in a million years saying something that disrespectful after losing to the team. You said, I'm not going to take anything away from the Dodgers, but I'm going to actually take everything away from the Dodgers by saying that the better team did not win. Well, hey, why don't we give them the "we played better" trophy? Why don't we give them the "we were the better team" banner? Why don't you hang that up in Toronto? Because guess what? The better team does not go 3 for 17 with runners in scoring position and leave 14 men on base. The better team does not choke twice in the last 2 games of the series, Game 6 and Game 7. You had opportunities to win both of those games, but it was base running blunders that ultimately cost you. Game 6, Addison Barger getting caught off the base. Kike Hernandez, he charges in. He doesn't even have his eyes on the ball. He's just looking at Barger because he knows he's going to double him up. And then Miguel Rojas makes a remarkable play. He catches a ball that one hops behind his left leg. One of the best double plays you're ever going to see in the World Series. And then in Game 7, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. What happens in that situation? In Game 7, a chance to win the World Series with the bases loaded and 1 out. And Dalton Varsho, he hits one that goes to Miguel Rojas at second base. And Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he did a couple things very wrong in this situation. Okay? The bases were loaded, 1 out. Blue Jays down 4-3. You got a pinch runner in IKF at third who's pinch running for George Springer. Varsho grounds to Rojas, and it's a force play. It's a routine force play. One, why did he slide? You got to run through the bag there. If he's just running and has a pretty decent lead, he is going to score there, and the Blue Jays are going to win the World Series. Typically, an aggressive lead at third base is between 8 and 12 feet. We've seen Trey Turner, if you remember his time with the Dodgers, Trey Turner would take a lead that was over 12 feet to get to home plate. A conservative lead is anything that's 4 feet and closer to the bag. And that's what Isaiah Kiner-Falefa was. And the reasoning for this was you did not want to get doubled up on a line drive. I got a fact for you. You know I bring my facts to the fight. Dalton Varsho didn't line out to the left side of the infield for the entire 2025 season. Not a single time. He is a pure pull hitter. That's what he does. It was virtually impossible for him to do that. So you mean to tell me that the Blue Jays were the better team? Did they have the better coaching? Because whether that's coming from Schneider in the dugout, whether it's coming from the third base coach, no, the coaching failed the Blue Jays. So do the Blue Jays have better coaching? Because on the flip side, Dave Roberts inserts Andy Pages in not even to start that inning. He did it with 1 out. Andy Pages didn't even start that entire inning, and he's able to make that catch. Because that was a smart substitution, because Tommy Edman was dealing with the ankle injury, could not cover the 121 feet like Andy Pages could. So guess what? Dodgers had better coaching. And you mean to tell me there was a pitcher on the Blue Jays better than Yoshinobu Yamamoto? You could combine Trey Savage and Kevin Gausman and Shane Bieber and Max Scherzer. Combine all those guys into one, and they're not as good of a pitcher as Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who pitched on no day's rest and got the Dodgers out of what could have been a catastrophic moment in franchise history. He got them out of the jam of a century. So don't tell me that the Blue Jays were the better team. It's just complete nonsense. And it was complete, utter nonsense when the truth is better teams don't choke. The Blue Jays absolutely choked on so many different levels, and the Dodgers outplayed them when it mattered most. And here's the thing. If you want to tell me, okay, the Blue Jays dominated in game 1, and the Dodgers, they really didn't have very much offense at all in games 4 and 5. And you want to tell me that the Blue Jays outplayed them in those games? Sure, they did. There's no doubt about it. They did. But just because they outplayed them for 8 innings, making the plays the Dodgers made late in the 9th and in extra innings and throughout that game, they're worth 20 innings of being outplayed. So completely ridiculous. The Blue Jays weren't a better team. They're not a better team. Their roster isn't better. And the truth of the matter is if the Dodgers offense showed up to the degree that they had for most of the year, the Dodgers could have won in 5 games. But the offense, they had to overcome it. Look at their final game. Every single pitcher in the Dodgers starting rotation pitched in that game. Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Justin Robleski. He was the guy that started games for this team. So, no, they're not the better team. So, Blue Jays, hang that banner, the "we were the better team" banner, when the reality is you were not the better team. And I love how Kike Hernandez, he went to his Instagram and he posted a picture with the World Series trophy, and the caption was, "The better team. I'm glad the better team didn't win." So, hey, you weren't the better team. And I don't want to hear that again. That guy needs to issue a public apology. He really, really does. He needs to issue a public apology because that was ridiculous. Just a Little League base running for that team. You had 2nd and 3rd, nobody out in game 6, did nothing. And then you choked away in the 9th in an extra innings. And hey, guess what? The Dodgers pitchers, they didn't give up the go-ahead home runs, right? Vladdy hit a double. Will Smith hit a home run, right? We are not the same. We are not the same. They not like us, as Kendrick Lamar likes to say. All right, so let's keep it moving here. Like I said, we are still celebrating. Life is great in La La Land with another World Series title. And last night, the Dodgers had their World Series championship party. It was hosted by Mookie Betts, and there were some big-time highlights here. You had the Soulja Boy with Mookie, and Clayton Kershaw apparently can hit the Soulja Boy. But the moment of the night, let's pull that up right here. Look at Freddie Freeman breaking out the worm here. First of all, what was so smooth about this is you've got Freddie Freeman. Look at it, go down 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the twerk, the mini twerk and the butt slap from Kike. I mean, there were so many elements to this that made it so perfect. Let's run it back one more time, Rob. It was so smooth. He's creeping into it. There you go. And then he finds the phone in his front pocket. I love this music, by the way, Rob. Nice touch here. He flips it to Kike, and look at this. That is a legitimate 6'5" dude rocking. Look at twerk. Oh my goodness. And I just think that really, I think that right there. First of all, I thought that was AI. And when I realized it wasn't, I couldn't have been happier, because it tells you that Freddie is not just this hired gun that was here because he didn't re-sign with the Braves. No, this, I think, epitomizes the Freddie Freeman experience with the Dodgers. Is we've seen more personality from this guy, just like we've seen more personality with Shohei Ohtani. I think the common thread there is Kike Hernandez bringing it out of these guys, because he's just a uniter like that. But think about how this has gone for Freddie Freeman. He went from wanting to be Mr. Brave, wanting to be an all-time Braves player who started and has finished his entire career with that organization, to they end up trading for Matt Olson. And there was this whole thing with Freddie's agent where they thought that he lied to him and that there was an offer there. Turned out that was actually bogus. A lot of Braves fans say this. It's not true. Doug Gottlieb, he was forced to issue an apology for it. But for whatever reason, here's the thing though. All these idiot Braves fans that say this, all these moron Braves that say this, these fans, what they never like to mention is, guess what? You could have signed Freddie Freeman in his 3rd year, 4th year, 7th year, 8th year, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th year. You know that you don't have to wait until they get to free agency to lock them up long term. Let's see what the Dodgers did. You got Mookie Betts with a year left on his deal. They signed him to a 12-year, $365 million contract. So even if you want to say, oh, Freddie wanted to sign with the Braves and he was lied to during free agency, if the Braves wanted Freddie Freeman and made him a competitive offer that made sense, they would have gotten the deal done before he entered free agency, a year ahead of time, 2 years ahead of time, like we've seen with star players throughout this league. And what happened to Freddie Freeman? He falls into the Dodgers' lap, and then he goes on to have his best statistical seasons as a player, north of 30. I've called Freddie Freeman baseball's version of fine wine because that's what he is. Before 2022, so 2022 and 2023, Freddie Freeman, a 157 weighted runs created plus. That was his highest in any regular season of his career at his age 32 season. He had 21 home runs. He was fantastic. And in 2023, he had his very best season in his career. So one thing you feel really good about is even though he won the MVP with the Braves in 2020, and he was really good and helped them win a World Series, you can look Braves fans in the eyes and say, hey, his very best season of his career was 2023 when he hit 331, had a 410 on base, a 161 weighted runs created plus, hit 29 home runs, and then he had a career high 59 doubles and set a new Dodgers franchise record. So he came to LA, has had his best statistical individual years. 1, 2, he gets to play in front of his family. His dad, Freddie. One of my favorite stories is Freddie's dad, who talks about throwing soft toss to Freddie Freeman all those years, wanting to get him into baseball. A lot of parents out there like, man, I got to get my boy Tommy, my boy Billy into travel ball. That way he can get a scholarship to Long Beach State or Cal State Fullerton. They don't have to play for college. Maybe he can get to the minors and make it to the show. He can pay for a mansion and buy me a car, right? Pay all my bills off. A lot of parents are like that. Travel ball this, travel ball that. Let's try to use this kid to get through college and pay me and that kind of stuff. Freddie Freeman's dad said the only reason why he got Freddie Freeman into baseball was he wanted to have some friends. He wanted to have some friends. His mom tragically passed away from an illness, and he gets him into baseball to have friends. And now he's got 25 other friends on the Dodgers, and they win World Series together every single year. It's a beautiful, it's a magical story. So best years of his career, gets to play in front of his family because he's from Orange County. So his dad gets to go to games. His family gets to go to games. So his family's at his games. And then 3, he's had the most iconic moment that he's ever had in his career with a Dodger. And one of the most iconic moments in the history of baseball when he hit the walk-off grand slam last year in game 1 off of Nestor Cortez. And then this year he follows that up with a walk-off home run in game 3 of the World Series to win an 18-inning game. He's the only player ever to have walk-off home runs in multiple World Series. So, hey, Freddie Freeman may have been crying when he went back to Atlanta because he was emotional because he thought he could have ended his career there. But now the only one that's crying is the Braves and their fans for letting him go because he's now been an integral part of 2 World Series titles with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So great story. I didn't know he could do the worm like that. Everyone wants this to be the home run celebration next year. Noel, I don't think this would, you're eating. What are you eating? Oh, you're in? Okay.
I'm in, man. Tap me in.
You're eating, yeah, we're all, hey, man. Everyone wants that to be the home run celebration.
Yeah, I would love that. I don't think it's possible. I don't think everybody could.
I don't think everyone can move like that. And also too, like that's a little extra. You know what I mean?
100%. If I was the opposing team, I'd be so mad if I saw them doing that after they hit a home run.
Can you do the worm?
I cannot.
I can do a little worm. I can. I'm thinking about. Should I really want to test the back like that? But I'm thinking about maybe doing the worm.
So, you know how everybody wants a documentary about the season, about the run. They want to see the inside, the behind the scenes. I just need a documentary about that party they had. I want to see the behind the scenes of that.
No, yeah, let's talk about that party because if there's one credential that I could have gotten all year, it would not have been the World Series, which I did. It would not be the NLCS, NLDS, the All-Star game, opening day, Kershaw 3000, Kershaw last game. It'd be like, dude, let me go to that party, bro.
No, 100%.
Like, how high, like what, I just want to know like how much alcohol, what Kike Hernandez was on. I mean, his face was basically touching Kirby Yates's ass with that tattoo.
Oh my God.
Which is awesome. And you know what, I didn't, this is the thing too. Like, and look, I know you're a big NBA guy. I'm a big NBA guy. Right. And I was thinking of you when they had the celebration, because I was like, dude, they're popping bottles, champagne everywhere, like beer everywhere, guys going crazy. Like, compare that. I mean, you saw the ratings difference for the NBA Finals Game 7 and the World Series Game 7, but also the celebration. They were like basically sipping Capri Suns in the Thunder
None of those guys were able to drink.
Yeah, those guys were able to drink. They were partying, but the Dodger thing like went crazy, man.
I mean, you explained this to me, and I know like Dodger fans and baseball fans know this, just the grind of going through that 162 game season and then making sure everything goes your way throughout a postseason like they did with the wild card included, with the traveling internationally the past 2 years. Like they just let all the emotion out in that celebration. It's amazing.
That's what it is. It's like, hey, like either we've worked so hard to get here, and then on top of that, some of these guys will never do this again. Yeah. Like, who knows what happens to a Ben Rortvedt or an Alex Call and some of these, Clayton Kershaw was the last one. So you're going to part it up. I didn't know Kersh had that soldier boy in him though.
No, me neither.
Like
we learned a lot about the players just from that one video. Like, you could literally like look at each player and just know that was a great video too.
No, that was an absolute masterpiece, and I can't wait for more videos to emerge from that. I'm surprised Mookie didn't have like anyone in the party sign like an NDA and say you couldn't film and couldn't record.
You know what? I also saw that I think everybody will respect. I saw Yamamoto ordered some asada tacos from the.
I didn't see that one. So trust me. He's
invited to every asada.
He's invited to the asada. When I saw him step to the crowd and he was like, "Buenos tardes," and everyone in the crowd was loving that. Yeah. My man spoke 3 languages in one speech. Yeah. He was like, arigato at the end in English.
He's like Kobe.
He's like Kobe. I love the Dodgers. Yeah, I love Los Angeles.
We know you do.
No, that's what he said. I'm saying, that's you, bro. But yeah, so. More about this Dodgers team of the offseason. And we're going to get some comments here. We got Freddie is a stud. We got to Alvarez, 1482. D-Mac is right. Atlanta is just as bad as the rest of the league at signing talent. We have MLB on lock. BC, Freddie has more rings, 3 than the Braves have 2 in almost 60 years since moving to Atlanta. I like that. One of those rings he helped the Braves get. I love that though. Peak. Braves didn't want to give Freddie that extra year. LOL. Yeah, exactly. There's a difference between a 6th year and $162 million and the 5 years that they wanted to give him. And that's one of the biggest fumbles and one of the biggest come ups for the Dodgers. There's no doubt about that. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Now, as far as the offseason goes, there's going to be a lot of decisions that the Dodgers are going to have to make. A lot of decisions that the Dodgers are going to have to make this offseason, because you look at their payroll, you've got $87 million coming off the books. And I know that the Dodgers ruined baseball crowd is going to hate this, but the truth is there is money to spend. There are moves to be made that can improve this roster. You look at where they're at as far as contractually the money that's coming off the books. Miles Conforto, $17 million. Chris Taylor, $17 million. Clayton Kershaw, $60 million. Yates, $13 million. Kopech, $5.2 million. Muncy, $4.5 million. Barnes, Diaz, Manuel Margot, Ryan Brazier. $87.2 million is coming off of the books this offseason. And this is a Dodgers team that's making a ton of money in revenue. They've already paid Shohei Ohtani's contract in full, essentially, and already recouped all the funds from that. And they're just going to continue to make money from that, for being completely honest. But you look at the guaranteed contracts for next season, you got Shohei Ohtani, $560 million through 2023. $68 million of that is deferred. So that's that. Yamamoto, $260 million through 2035. He has a couple opt-outs that start after 2029 or any season where he's traded. Mookie Betts, $235 million through 2022. That includes $40 million of signing bonus still to be paid out, $10 million of salary deferred annually in 2026 and 2027, and $11 million annually in 2028. Blake Snell, they owe him another $104 million. He had $13.2 million deferred. Will Smith, $83.45 million through 2033. They owe Glass now $81 million. Tanner Scott, $56 million. That one kind of hurts. He had $50 million signing bonus. Freddie Freeman, they owe $54 million through 2027. So he's under contract for just 2 more seasons. The following season in 2026 and the year after in 27. Tommy Edman, $52 million through 29. Teoscar Hernandez, they owe $33 million through 2027. That includes a $6.5 million buyout on a $15 million club option. He also has a conditional 2029 option, and he has $8 million of salary that's deferred annually. Blake Trinan, $13.5 million, and Hae-Sung Kim, $9 million. So those are the Dodgers that are under contract heading into next season. The one that I find interesting there, and I don't want to go too aggressive on this, but the Teoscar Hernandez situation is pretty interesting because Teo certainly had his moments. I mean, that 3-run shot, the Dodgers were down in game 1 of the NLDS on the road, big home run, and a big home run in game 3 of the World Series. I mean, offensively, he still produces, but the issue with Teoscar, he's one of the worst defensive outfielders in baseball, one of the worst defensive right fielders. He's owed $33 million through 2027. So that means you got him for next year and the year after that. The problem for Teo is ideally he's on a team that at least has the designated hitter spot as an option occasionally. A game here, a game there, a week here, a week there. But the Dodgers have a player that goes by the name of Shohei Ohtani, and that's your full-time DH. There is no flexibility at the DH spot at all whatsoever. So I know the Dodgers love Teoscar. His teammates love him. Fans love him. $1 billion megawatt smile. Really, that was the moment of the 2024 parade when he thanked the fans and he got emotional. And the Dodgers ended up bringing him back. Defensively, though, if we're keeping it 100, he is a liability. He has been dealing with some injuries. Offensively, did not have a great year. Do you view him as one of those postseason glue guys that can rake in October? I do think there's a world where you can justify him, and there's no doubt about it. That's most likely what they're going to do. But if you did want to shake up the outfield and you want to get younger at that position, maybe there is a world where you could trade Teoscar Hernandez, take on some of that money, and then he can be a DH for another team and then also be a right fielder. I'm not saying that that's what I want necessarily at this very moment, but if you're looking at the guys that are currently on the roster that you would want to move off of potentially, depending on what you're trying to do with your outfield, that would be one of the questions. Another question would be Tanner Scott, who, look, relievers are volatile. I know you guys think Tanner Scott's a double agent. I know you think that Tanner Scott was wearing a Padres jersey under his Dodgers jersey all season long. But velocity-wise, movement-wise, his stuff didn't drop off like a Noah Syndergaard did or like a Walker Buehler did after surgery. It's not like there was a massive drop-off on those metrics. So maybe he could turn it around, and the Dodgers could possibly look to add a right-handed reliever. And that has been the rumor today for the Dodgers and what their offseason plans could be. The market could have a really interesting spin with Tarek Skubal. So Alden Gonzalez of ESPN, he reported that the Dodgers are expected to pursue a closer and a right-handed late inning arm this offseason, and that they will check in with the Detroit Tigers on Tarek Skubal. And they also have some communication with Kyle Tucker, but the interest is expected to be on the periphery. I've heard weird things about Kyle Tucker from multiple sources that, that this is a guy that he wants to get his bag and move to Florida and just that's that. Not the greatest guy in the clubhouse. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. But just speaking to people in the industry, doesn't feel like he's a guy that you would envision as the ideal Dodger, at least right now. I'm still doing more digging on it. But who knows? Could the Dodgers go out there and get a Pete Fairbanks? Could they go out there and go crazy with Edwin Diaz? We'll find out. But that's where they're at with their internal guys. And then the free agents are Clayton Kershaw's retiring, Michael Conforto, Kirby Yates, Kike Hernandez, Miguel Rojas, and Michael Kopech. So that'll be the big decision. And we'll talk about that a little later on Dodgers Dugout Live. But kind of the skinny on that is the Dodgers are kind of in this predicament where you're going to have to weigh experience with when do we push the, hey, we need to get younger now button to sustain this. Because the truth is, the Dodgers have the oldest roster in baseball, and that showed throughout parts of the postseason where you averaged under 4 runs per game. Do you feel like at some point you either need to develop the Alex Freelands of the world, or do you say to yourself, what can Alex Freeland do for me as an unproven commodity when it matters most in October? And I think that's where the Dodgers' toughest decisions are going to be made this offseason. Do we run it back, or do we say we have so much equity with this fan base that here's the thing. Like, if we're being completely honest, outside of trading Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki, Freddie Freeman, like the Dodgers could get away with doing basically anything they wanted this offseason. And even if you're upset, they would just be like, all right, here's 2 World Series trophies. Do you believe in us or not? Is it in Freedom we trust? Because I'm pretty sure it is. So the Kike Hernandez thing is going to be interesting because the offense was down in the regular season and in the postseason. Did have some big hits. I think his biggest play was the double play in Game 6. And do you trust other guys in those situations? And then Miguel Rojas, I mean, the offense was good in the regular season, and he did play multiple positions. The defense still graded high. I also think, too, if you are going to keep Mookie Betts at shortstop, I think keeping Rojas in the fold helps him. Here's a thought on Mookie Betts, too. I see this take everywhere on Mookie Betts, and the take is this. The offense was down all year. The defense was really good at shortstop, where he was a Gold Glove finalist, and he led the league in defensive runs saved. The defense was really good all year, right? But the offense is what makes him special. So kind of this parroted adage with Mookie is if you move him to right field or you move him to second base, that the offense will come back magically. My response to that is, what if you put Mookie at second base and he's still not the guy he used to be when he was putting up MVP numbers offensively? He did finish the season 4% above league average, but that was well below the production that he's had throughout his career. He had 20 home runs this year. But my question is this: if you move him back to right or you move him to second base and the offense is still down, then how are you getting value from him? My counter to this whole idea of you got to move Mookie off shortstop to try to get the offense back is maybe at this stage of Mookie's career, the way he does provide value is with his play at shortstop, and that you're kind of getting more of that shortstop offensive production defensively and offensively. So I think there's a world where, hey, you almost can recalibrate those expectations with Mookie Betts, knowing that at this stage of his career, maybe, look, he's not the biggest guy. His margin for error isn't what Freddie's and Shohei's is at the plate. Maybe we're not going to see 30 and 40, 30, 39 home run seasons for Mookie and 40, 50 doubles and him being 40 to 60% above league average offensively. If those days are gone, but he can still give you premium defense with a good solid bat, maybe that's the best way to get value out of Mookie Betts at this stage of his career. Let's read some comments. D-Mac, my GOAT. What's up, Roseman, Carino, Oscar Mora, 499, Tucker or Bellinger? Who do you prefer? D-Mac, come on. You got to ask me that question. Don't stop. Belly even. A belly eater for life. I've already said on this show that I would absolutely welcome Cody Bellinger back with open arms. Probably looking at a $130, $140 million deal. He still can get that position done. He plays multiple positions, left, right, center, first base. The offense was really good this year. I'll do a full breakdown on Belly, but sign me up for Cody Bellinger back in the outfield. I know it's not even about the fields either. Like, it's really not. I just think that the outfield production for 2 years in a row has been bottom third in the league. And that is an area where you need to improve defensively and offensively for sure. NPC Hero 999. I'm a Giants fan, and the Dodgers are finally putting pressure on San Francisco ownership to stop pretending we don't have money after years of painfully mediocre teams. LA is just doing it right. Congrats. San Francisco, the Giants. Yeah, I mean, I think that the Giants made a pretty bold move. They really did with that managerial choice, but don't get it twisted. We knew when you were trying to dance all over our graves during the even years. Now the Dodgers have had their run, and I do think the NL West is at its best when it's Giants Dodgers. And I think this is the number one goal for you, Giants fan. I got the number one goal for you. The goal for you, Giants fan, is make the best rivalry in the NL West the Dodgers and Giants again. Because it's not the Dodgers' fault that it's not Dodgers Giants. It's the Giants' fault. Boring players, third place team. They really haven't done much. When the Dodgers play the Giants, I mean, it's like a Dodgers crowd. So a Giants fan, do whatever you got to do. I miss when the Dodgers and Giants had more juice. But now it's the Dodgers Padres is the must-see matchup in the NL West. It's not the Dodgers Giants. So that's my goal for you. My goal for you isn't to win the division. I don't want you to do that. My goal for you isn't to win the World Series. I never want to see that. My goal for you is make the Dodgers Giants a great rivalry that has juice, that's competitive, there's tension between both teams. I want to see that because right now, you're not holding up your end of the bargain. You're really not. We got Get Shota, Skubal, Schwarber, and Murakami. Chewy Gonzalez, you're going to have to throw a lot more down on that super chat than $199 if you want us to sign all those players. So I'm going to give that money to, what you're asking for is a lot. You want the PS5, you want everything. You want the deluxe combo. You want like everything. The Furby, the N64, the Tickle Me Elmo, you want all the Christmas presents. Freedom 499. If they're so damn good, this is going back to that Toronto guy. Freedom 499. If they're so damn good, why couldn't they score with the bases loaded in Game 7 and get clutch hits to win like my Dodgers? Longtime Dodgers fan. No, it's crazy. They were not the better team. But how about this? Go have your better team parade. Go hang your better team banner. Go hoist your "we were better than the Dodgers as a team" trophy. That's right. It doesn't exist. And it doesn't exist for a reason. And I saw Alex Rodriguez say that. And I kind of was starting to warm up to Alex Rodriguez for some of the things he was saying. Now we're back to zero. Asking Shohei Ohtani for an autograph on a piece of paper. A-Rod, who is that even going to? Let's be honest. LA ball in 24/7. I don't think those numbers are gone. Mookie was a little last year to begin with. That effect, I don't think so. I'm not saying that it is. And I do think I've spoke to Mookie Betts, and one thing that is very clear was that weight loss, even though he put the weight back up when he lost 18 pounds due to the illness, he had the bubble guts, he had mud butt, he was sick and he lost a lot of weight. You can't just, when you lose weight like that, it's not like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to go to Raising Cane's and just get it all back and just eat one meal, right? And do that. Like, that's not how it works because you lose muscle mass. I do think that was certainly a factor. And I do want to see what Mookie Betts looks like when he was hitting at an all-star level. He was from August 4th, after the ovation to the end of the season, he was hitting at an all-star to fringe MVP level. And I do want to see that for a full season when he's healthy, doesn't have to go to Tokyo, doesn't have to do all that stuff. So we've got Ramble Ron 5720. Tucker's one of those streaky hitters. We can't have that. And look, Tucker was really good. Then he slumped. And for me, it's not about the numbers with him. It's just kind of things I've heard about him as a competitor, as a guy like what's his number one goal? Like, is it to win a championship? I don't know. Like I know for a fact that Shohei Ohtani's number one goal was to win a championship. I really do. And now he's won 2 championships in 2 years. And that's awesome stuff. Freedom 199, born and croak in blue since 55. Let's go. 4-seater from South Korea to the World Series 2024 champs, and Japan to Canada World Series 2025 champs. That's a lot of mileage and time, chill time. Exactly. Wadib 69, you crank that Soldier Boy D-Mac. I can't even do it. I don't know. Noel, can you do the Soldier Boy? Rob, can you do it?
Rob could definitely. Come on, Rob.
No, Rob, you can go for the camera. Come on. Crank that Soldier. Watch me. You Soldier Boy. Whoa, hey, there, the magic of TV. Okay. Whoa, yes, Rob, kill it. Soldier. Drake?
That's got to be the new hit celebration.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There you go. That would go hard.
How do you guys do it? Like, I don't even, it's been a while. That was like the first like dance of that. But all right, Dodger talk later on Dodgers Dugout Live. We're going to go live at 5, and we'll talk some more Dodger baseball, some more free agency rumors, breaking down the roster, and we'll talk about their appearance on Jimmy Kimmel too as well. But let's switch gears, talk about some Lakers, because the Lakers have gone off to a great start.